Alright, it's Xavier Hernandez, video logging again. What today we got here ourselves is a telescope mod. You see, this is your interlocking system. Here's your firing button. Here's where your coil build is. And we're going to go into detail later about our coil here. And here's your battery compartment. So, what you're going to want to do is when you're building a coil, I already built mine. I can't run through that again, but I can tell you the steps to doing it. You're going to lock your button so it won't fire on accident, and you break your coil if anything. Right here we got ourselves zipper coils. You can't see it, but I will put pictures in the video so you will be able to see it, because my camera isn't good. But it's a zipper coil, and what it is it's 3 wires, and these are counterclockwise. And what you do is you twist the ends, and you're supposed to use 28 gauge. You can use 22 gauge, but if you use 22 gauge, you're gonna have to use pliers to twist the ends. And what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to stick it in a drill, and you're gonna just turn it to where it's going counterclockwise. You're gonna hold the end of them with these, and it's gonna tighten them, and it's gonna snap. And that's why you need 3 pieces 3 feet long each. And doing so, you're gonna create this effect. You can't see it, but I will put pictures. And you can use any drill. I used a really high powered drill, very high powered, but I suggest that you don't go into it fast. You hold the button down slightly. And so what I did was I stuck this first one through, because I have 3 posts. It wasn't enough to put the 2 that I had, because you're originally supposed to put a counterclockwise and a clockwise. But I improvised, and I made 1 counterclockwise sleeper coil, and it's a zipper sleeper coil. I don't know if it's been done, but I've done it. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to stick it through. And you can make them to where they're normal, but I decided to make them up and down, as you can see. I will put pictures, and I stuck it through. The hardest part though was getting this side. What you're going to want to do is you're going to get your original screwdriver that you used for this side, and you're going to want to stick it on this, and you're going to want to bend it around as tight as you can. And then, let's say, since I did this, I put this one up and down, you're going to want to pull it out slightly and bend this one like that. And then, once you have it like that, you're going to want to trim these, cut these extra wires. I'll put a picture up. Cut these extra wires on this side and this side. And make sure that these don't touch your post, because if they do, you can short it out, which isn't very good. That means you have to buy a whole another RDA. Alright, so you're going to want to tighten this post first, since you stuck through this one first. Tighten it, and then you're going to want to stick it through this one. And you're going to want to tighten this, because it's a sleeper zipper coil, so this needs to be tightened, this middle one. Usually if it was a regular one, you just tighten this one and this one, but it's a sleeper, so you have to tighten this one and this one. And after that, you're going to want to twist it around. You're going to have to get pliers, and you're going to have to shove it through this 3rd post, because you can't just do it by hand. Then you're going to close it. After that's all done, you trim those, trim that. You're going to want to undo your locking system. You're going to fire it, and it should do this. Make sure it heats up from the middle. It can heat up from the outside in, but they both have to be heating up right, or it won't work. And if they're not heating up right, you're going to want to get your pliers, let go of the firing button, get your pliers, and squeeze them together as hard as you can. Squeeze them real tight. Make sure there's no spaces in between the wires, both of them. Squeeze them both real tight. get it nice and snug. Alright, I think we're good here. You're going to want to lock your system again. That was just to check if it fires. Lock your system again. Right here, I'm not using regular Kanthal or a wick. I'm using some cotton balls. It's made of 100% cotton. It's not going to affect it much. But you're going to want to throw some off like so. And then do this. Make sure they're nice and tight. And then you're going to want to stick it through like so. And it's going to come out the bottom. And this is if you're doing it how I'm doing it. You're going to want to pull it through. It might break a little. It's going to be alright. You just want to get enough to put on this side. It doesn't need to be a whole lot. It just needs to be enough. Pull it out again. If you need to, strip some more off. Like I said, this is just the side that you're sticking it through. Pull it through. As you can see, I got a pretty good amount through. You're going to want to grab a screwdriver, use your finger, shove it under this side, just this side, make sure it's under, and the well, and the oil well, on this side, like so, right there. And then with this side, you're going to want to trim it about to where there's at least that much. You're going to want to put some down here under it. And after you think there's enough, you're going to want to, on this part, you're going to have to trim it up a bit. I'll show you in a second. Alright, now we're just going to trim it up, twist it up a bit, run it right behind, like so. I suggest you get many small screwdrivers. It may take a bit. Don't worry though, you will get it through. It may take a little force, but don't worry, you won't break anything. You're just going to want to make it nice and snug on this side. Nice and snug on both sides. I'll put a picture of how it looks when I'm all done. Alright, same thing with the other side. It should look like this. I'll put a picture up. Alright, see, what you did is you cut the other one in half, which gives you enough for this side. If not, you can always make more. You can use wick or cotton balls, just make sure the cotton balls are 100% cotton. And with one of these mods, you may not have a locking system, but you can easily take that out. Just make sure it's nice and spun up, so you can stick it through there. Grab it with your pliers, pull it through. As you can see, I got just enough again. Like I said before, you're going to want to slide this one under. Make sure it's nice and tightened up. Alright, and like before, trim this one up. Stick it through with a small screwdriver. And you have successfully wicked your Sleeper Coils. Now, the part of getting them soaked. You're gonna use any. You can use any juice you want. It doesn't matter, but as long as you have enough. You're gonna want to use a good one though. I mean, it doesn't matter. Just make sure you have enough because it uses a lot. Also, it's better if it has one of these test tube things to drop it. Don't worry. Mods are very strong. You won't break it. Alright, so when you do this, you're going to want to juice it like this, like so, spread it around, spread it under, especially with these, over, and under, and over. And you don't want to over juice it, just make sure you get it nice and juiced, because you can always go back and juice it later. Over and under. And like I said, it does take a lot. Also, you can mix glycerin with your juice, and glycerin is a great gluing tool, especially for wick and cotton balls, of course. I don't have any glycerin right now at the time, but as you see, I have really tasty juices. Just juice it up a little bit more. Some more on this side. Push this in a little bit. Also, it doesn't matter if you shove a little extra cotton in there. It's all going to be burning it. It doesn't need to go through the canthaw to fire. You can glue it down easily with the other canthaw. It'll blend in just as if it were part of the canthaw, the wick. You're going to want to get it nice and juiced. Alright, close this up, make sure you don't have any spills. If it is a telescope mod, you're going to want to unlock it by twisting this counterclockwise. Make Make sure you don't unscrew it. Make sure everything is tight. Make sure your connections and your posts are tight. And then you're gonna want to fire it. It will smoke. Just blow on it to get this extra stuff off. You may want to blow on it and rejuice it. Keep on doing this about 2 times, 2 or 3. 3 is not always necessary, but you can. And make sure you don't overjuice it, like I said. Alright. As you can see, it's firing a lot. The coils are still hot after you're done because this is a zipper sleeper coil, so be very careful. Juice it again. Juice it again. Make sure everything is in place where it's supposed to go. Also, you may want to put some juice on the coils themselves so it can soak it up, and put it on the inside. It's gonna fire it off again. Sometimes it will hit you, but it's alright. It doesn't burn too bad. Alright, so we have it firing. It's firing very nicely. Now you are set. Just make sure everything is in place like you want it. Alright. And I have a few extra batteries just in case. Like I said, this might drain your battery pretty fast depending on what mod you have. It might drain your battery, but as long as you got a good mod and a good RDA that puts out a good amount of watts, then you should be great. You should be Gucci. Alright, it's set. I'm gonna go ahead and put this battery in because it's charged up all the way. My assistant here is gonna go put this one on the charger. We will show you our faces in a bit to show you how good this hits. Also, this is your chef cap. You may be able to get a mini variety of chef caps with your RDA. It doesn't matter. Also, it may take a little bit of manipulating your coils so you can put the chef cap on, but it fires real nice, as you can tell. Now, putting the chef cap on. This one unscrews from the top so you can see through. What I'm going to do is I'm going to place these air holes right on my coils if you can. If you can't, then it's alright. But make sure that it goes on all the way and it locks. And then your chef cap top, if you have one, is going to go like this and twist on. It should hit like a beauty. I might rejuice mine because how I've been firing it to show you. I might not. So, as you can see, I have a many variety of juices. It doesn't matter what kind you get. It doesn't matter how much nicotine you put. As long as you know you can handle what you can handle, then you'll be good. And if you're a beginner, you will cough. It happens to everyone. I mean, I coughed. But what you're going to do is you're going to screw it on if it's screw on. If it's not, you're just going to snap it on like this one. See, it comes right off. You're just going to snap it on like that. Make sure your airflow is open. Alright, now my assistant's going to come over here and hit this with me, and we'll show you how good it is. Yeah. So, alright, so, and now you can see our faces. We're going to show you how good it is. How easy it is, of course. Check it out right there.
Keep calm and vape on.
Vape on, my bros.